Hello, 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 friends. Hello. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. No weapons formed against you or our fun, our joy, our happiness will shall ever prosper. Look, today's a travel day, right? And I was on the plane reading my book, The Love Effect. Check it out on Amazon.com. And when I first wrote the book, I'd read it so many times. By the time I sent it to my publisher, I was just like so over reading my story. I mean, I'm living my life, right? Like, I don't need to read about it. But I was reading it on the plane, right? I didn't want to listen to any music. I didn't want to watch anything. I want to focus on that because I'm just thinking about the next things that I'm going to do. But what caught me was fear. Do y'all know I used to be afraid of flying? I'd be on a plane like every other week, it seemed like. And I used to have a fear of flying. Okay. And I want to tell you about the day, the moment God told me to release that, right? I was flying to New York City in December. Okay. I was flying to New York City in December 2023. Okay. First of all, this is before I stopped drinking. And I stopped drinking 2.5 years ago. But before that, I was drinking all the time, right? Y'all know, in airports, I realized they don't care if you just drink, at least in Tennessee, and I don't know what other airport I was in, but in Tennessee you could walk around the entire airport with an open cup. They just promoting all the liquor. Look at all the duty-free shops. I just seen in this airport they got free gifts of a suitcase full of alcohol if you spend enough money in a duty-free shop. I mean, they got all the liquor for you to stay stuck. But I'm not gonna go there. This message is about fear. Because God has made me, forced me, called me out on my faith and fear, right? So I used to get wasted, maybe pop some pills before flying. That was just how I used to operate, okay? So I could feel calm a little bit. And I did a video when I was in Thailand, was it earlier this year in April, talking about shitting out fear, like for real. And you should check it out. It was very interesting, but I'll recap it if this video is not too long. I'll be trying to make them under 10 minutes now, because when I was in, where was I just now? I don't even fucking remember. Jesus, I just left this morning. Dominican Republic. That's crazy. That's how it be in my mind sometimes. I mean, because I be moving so much, I be forgetting where the heck I was at. But I was in Dominican Republic, okay? So I was on the plane and there was turbulence. Turbulence used to make my heart sink. It felt like I was on a roller coaster. You know, when you're on a roller coaster and it go down and your stomach's still up there at the top of the roller coaster. It was just like, I looked out the window and I was like, oh my God. Okay. And then, I didn't want to post any videos today. But I'm going to just make this one, and then that's going to be it. And y'all not going to hear from me until the next time you hear from me. You're going to have to wait. All right? I don't got a 9-to-5 life that's scheduled where I could just be making videos at set times all the time. It's just like, I was talking to God, like, God, we got anything? No, we ain't got nothing. I was trying to see if I want to go to sleep. Like, what kind of moves am I trying to make? But God was like this: you can't be scared no more, because people be having major fears that they're gonna die in a plane crash accident, and God was like, you could just not wake up. You could just die in your sleep. You could just, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these scenarios came into my head when I'm on a plane of ways that people die, and it was like, just enjoy the flight, be in the moment. And from that moment on, I have been cured from having a fear of flying, because it don't make no sense for me to have fear of flying as much as I travel. Do y'all understand how many planes I be on in a month, in 6 months, in a year? Like, it's ridiculous. And so this was God straight calling me out on my fear. And I'm gonna just do a recap because this video not so long. When I was in Thailand, right, I love going to the beach. I do know how to swim and I do know how to float. But there's something, I have a very huge respect for water. Like, when I was in the Navy, they used to do something called swim quals. When, I don't know why they call it that, because it's not like nobody's teaching you how to swim. They just give you the option. They anchor out the boat in the middle of the ocean, and then you can just jump off the ship and swim in the ocean if you want to, which is pretty cool. And I've done that a few times, right? But it's something about me that don't want to fuck with the ocean. Like, I don't want to look down, because something is literally pulling me. Like, I feel like I got some energies down there. Like, there's some connection to me in the bottom of the ocean, because every time there's something like pulling me, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna go into the shit that be going on in my head. But I noticed when I was in Thailand, I was laying on the beach, and I would just like get in the water and play around. You know how people be cute and they don't want to be like getting all wet? And I found myself doing that at this season in my life. And then it came to me like, honey, why? What? Because something felt heavy on me. Like, why are you acting like this in the water? Like, you know how to swim. What are you doing? Like, I'm just playing in the shores with the waves coming up to the shore. And I didn't allow myself to get in the water, but I do love laying down in the sun. Like, absolutely love laying in the sun, hearing the ocean waves. That's everything for me, okay? But if my kids are in the beach, I'm going to play with my son. I'll bury him in the sand. I'll splash with him in the water. He's a wonderful swimmer as well. So is my daughter. We're all fish. And I left the beach that day. And then that night, I found myself at the beach. I'm walking on the beach. I'm talking to God. And then I have a seat. And then I had got a download for a person very specifically that day. I messaged her my thoughts on what the download was. And then the message came to me like, oh, you afraid of the water? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to work on it tomorrow. Tomorrow, the plan is to go into the water up into my shoulders. And God was like, tomorrow? Like, what's wrong with right now? Because it was nighttime at the beach. It was nighttime. Pitch black, fucking dark. And I was like, right now, God? Yup. And I was like, oh, shit. So this is when I knew the fear was real, because I'm walking in the water and my heart is racing. Like, it starts to race. Boom, 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 boom in my chest. And I'm like, that is so unweird. It's so unusual, not unweird. It's so unusual because why is my heart racing? I'm literally a great swimmer. But my heart is racing. So I'm like, calm down. What the fuck? Calm down. What are we getting all excited about? Calm down, breathe. Calm down, breathe. So I'm having a conversation with God, calming myself down at the same time. And God was like, look, again, like on a plane, you're worried about drowning, but you know how to swim and you know how to float. Why are you worrying about drowning when you could just drop dead walking back to the condo? Like, you have to release this made up shit, basically, God was saying. And then I laughed out loud, like hysterically. And I'm like, damn, you right. I could just drop dead walking, you know, like I found a butterfly. I found 2 dead butterflies, actually. One yesterday died right on top of the microwave in the condo I was renting. And then the butterfly that I was talking to 2 days before, I found dead in front of the door of the condo when I was leaving to head out to the beach. None of these is coincidences, okay? I kept both the butterflies. But what came to me was like, damn, Butterfly, you just died on sight like that? You just died right there? Oh no, 3 butterflies. I found 3 butterflies dead. 1 walking to the beach, 1 outside the door, and 1 on top of the microwave in the condo that I was renting. And it was just like, what I said was, damn, I hope you had a great life, but they just died mid-flight. We don't know when we're leaving, right? We don't know when we're leaving this planet. Everybody has their own expiration date, and nobody knows what that expiration date is. Only God. So the message is, do the thing that we say we're afraid of and really lean into it, and know that if we actually have faith, we wouldn't be afraid. If we actually have faith, we wouldn't be afraid of anything. Remember, I always talk to you guys about being these amazing, magical, spiritual, universal beings of the highest white light, right? So if we are as amazing as we think we are, if we are as magical as we think we are, then we shouldn't have nothing to fear, right? Yo, I be scared shitless walking head on into my fear. Every time God sends me around this world and I never know where the fuck I'm going, it's a little scary there, but at the same time, it's like, oh, well, we're going to see a new country. We're going to be in a new environment. We're going to have a new experience. Like this fear left me at the very beginning of my journey. Now it's just, I'm expecting the unknown. I'm expecting something new. You know what I'm saying? We cannot say we have faith in anything if we still have fear. Otherwise, we're full of shit, okay? That's the message, friends. Whew, I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I wanted to keep this short. We're amazing, magical, spiritual, fearless fucking beings here on planet Abundance. We have been programmed and manipulated to have fear, okay? So we can keep ourselves shrunk and small. That's the system. It's the matrix. Read my book, The Love Effect. We're amazing, magical, spiritual beings that cannot be fucked with once we get tapped in to the divine source energy, okay? We're here on planet Abundance, not taking no shit from nobody, to have a wonderful time in human form, still not taking no shit from nobody, kicking fear's ass every step of the way while we're rebuilding who we are and remembering where the fuck we came from. Okay, that is the message. I love you, friends. Have a wonderful day from wherever you're watching from. Bye.